What would you do if the odds were 60-2? It sounds like a Hollywood movie, but it's one of the most lopsided moments in the history of air combat. The sky over the Philippines is about to turn into a battlefield, a place where tactics, tech, and pure guts are about to be stretched to their breaking point. This isn't just a story about a dogfight. It's about what happens when two pilots become an unbreakable shield against an overwhelming force. It's a last, defiant stand with the fate of an entire naval fleet hanging in the balance. This is the story of Commander David McCampbell and his wingman, Ensign Roy Rushing, who on October 24, 1944, flew straight into the jaws of impossible odds. The morning of October 24, 1944, is clear and bright over the Philippine Sea. 200 miles east of Leyte, the aircraft carrier USS Essex, flagship of Task Group 38.3, is cutting through the waves. It's part of Admiral Halsey's massive Third Fleet, a steel giant pushing American power deep into enemy waters. The mission? Support General MacArthur's landings in the Philippines, a key step on the long, bloody road to Tokyo. But the Japanese Empire isn't broken yet. They've launched a huge counterattack codenamed Operation Show-E-Go, throwing their remaining naval power into one last gamble to crush the American invasion. On the deck of the Essex, Commander David McCampbell, a 34-year-old Naval Academy grad, is getting ready for a routine flight. He's already an ace with 11 kills to his name, a proven leader in the cockpit of his F6F-5 Hellcat, Minsi III. His wingman today is a fresh replacement, Ensign Roy Rushing. Neither of them has any idea what's coming. Around 10:30 a.m., the calm is shattered. The ship's radar lights up. A massive formation of 60 Japanese aircraft is screaming toward the American fleet, a hornet's nest of Mitsubishi A6M-0s, Judy bombers, and Jill torpedo planes. These planes, launched from carriers like the Zuikaku, are the tip of the Japanese spear, sent to cripple the American carriers. The call goes out on the Essex, scramble every available fighter. But McCampbell and Rushing are already in the air on patrol. They're the closest. Instead of falling back and waiting for help, McCampbell makes a command decision. He and Rushing will intercept, alone. They jam the throttles forward. The Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp engines, 2200 horsepower marvels, roar to life as the two Hellcats climb hard, clawing for altitude. Below them, the American fleet is a collection of vulnerable targets. Every second counts. To save precious fuel for the fight, they drop their external tanks. Now they're committed, with only their internal fuel to get into the fight and hopefully back home. At 20,000 feet, they level off. 10 miles north, they see them, a sprawling enemy formation flying 2,000 feet below. 60-2. The odds aren't just bad, they're suicidal. But McCampbell has a plan. He's flying the Grumman F6F Hellcat, an aircraft built specifically to kill the legendary Zero. Where the Zero is nimble and can outturn anything at low speed, the Hellcat is faster, tougher, and a phenomenal diver. It's a rugged beast, built by the Grumman Ironworks, shielded by heavy armor and self-sealing fuel tanks, features often missing on its Japanese rivals. McCampbell is about to use every single one of those advantages. He swings his Hellcat high and to the south, putting the sun at his back to set up a classic boom and zoom attack. He was about to teach a masterclass in aerial combat. McCampbell guides Rushing into position. The Japanese formation drones on, totally oblivious to the two predators stalking them from above. In his oral history, McCampbell recalled knowing he had the altitude advantage the whole time. They would have the element of surprise. His voice crackles over the radio, calm and direct, telling Rushing which target to take. This simple communication makes sure they don't waste ammo on the same plane and lets Rushing know which way his leader will break after the attack. Then they dive. The Hellcats plummet, engines screaming as their speed blows past 450 miles per hour. At 200 yards, McCampbell opens up. His 6.50 caliber machine guns tear the air apart, spitting out 800 rounds per minute. The first Zero, completely caught off guard, disintegrates as the rounds rip into its wing root, igniting its unprotected fuel tank. One down. Rushing right on his leader's wing, nails 2 more in quick succession. The Japanese formation, suddenly under attack, scatters in chaos. They break into 3 smaller groups of about 20 planes each. This is exactly what McCampbell wanted. A single huge formation is a threat. Small, disorganized groups are just targets. The 2 Americans refuse to get suckered into a turning dogfight where the nimbler Zeros would have the edge. Instead, they execute their strategy with brutal perfection. They dive, fire a disciplined burst, and then use the Hellcat's superior power to climb back to safety, resetting for another pass. Boom and zoom, over and over. McCampbell later described the technique. We zoomed down, would shoot a plane or 2. Roy and I each would take one. We'd make an attack, pull up, keep our altitude advantage, speed, and go down again. We repeated this over and over. For the next 45 minutes, they work like a machine. McCampbell's shooting is uncanny, using just a handful of rounds per kill. He picks off 4 more planes in 10 minutes while weaving through a swarm of 20 enemy fighters. Rushing adds 4 more to his own score. The sky is filled with fire, smoke, and falling wreckage. But the fight isn't over. Ammo is getting dangerously low, and the fuel gauges are dropping toward empty. After 90 minutes, reality bites. They're deep in enemy territory, low on gas and almost out of bullets. A warning light flashes on McCampbell's console. A main fuel tank is dry. But the Japanese are still out there. In an incredible moment of calm, McCampbell gets on the radio. "Pretty soon Roy called me," he later said. He said, "Skipper, I'm out of ammunition." McCampbell, with just a little left, gives his wingman a choice: head back or stick around for one more pass. Rushing's reply was instant. "Oh no, I'll go down with you." They make 2 last passes, 2 more dives into the hornet's nest. McCampbell downs his 9th aircraft of the day, setting a new U.S. Navy record for victories in a single mission. Rushing brings his total to 6. Together, they've shot down 15 enemy planes, and more importantly, they've completely shattered the attack. The remaining Japanese planes, disorganized and demoralized, turn for home before a single bomb reaches the American fleet. Now, a new battle begins, the fight for home. Low on fuel and over 100 miles from the Essex, they nurse their fighters back. But as they approach the fleet, there's another problem. The flight deck of the Essex is packed with planes. There's no room to land. McCampbell knew it would take 20 minutes to clear the deck, time he didn't have. He's waved off to the nearby light carrier, the USS Langley. His landing is perfect, but as the Hellcat catches the wire, the engine sputters and dies. He is completely out of gas. The deck crew has to manually push his plane off the arresting gear. When they check his guns, they find he has just 2 rounds of ammunition left. McCampbell and Rushing faced down 60 enemy aircraft and walked away with a stunning victory. Their incredible skill and courage under fire saved countless lives and shielded the fleet from a devastating attack. This is the kind of ice-cold performance that defines a true ace. If you think this story of skill against all odds is as amazing as we do, consider liking this video and subscribing for more tales of military history. Let us know in the comments what other historic mission you'd like us to cover next. For his incredible heroism on October 24, 1944, and for an earlier mission where he shot down 7 planes in one day, Commander David McCampbell was awarded the Medal of Honor. He became the only pilot from the Fast Carrier Task Force to receive America's highest award for valor. He ended the war as the U.S. Navy's all-time leading fighter ace, with 34 confirmed aerial victories. For his part, Ensign Roy Rushing became a double ace with 13 victories and was awarded the Navy Cross for his bravery that day. The dogfight became legendary in the annals of naval aviation. It was a testament not just to the pilots' courage, but to the sheer superiority of their planes. The Grumman F6H Hellcat was the dominant fighter of the Pacific War, credited with over 5,100 enemy aircraft shot down, more than any other Allied naval aircraft. It achieved a staggering 19-to-1 kill ratio against its adversaries. The actions of McCampbell and Rushing were a small but critical part of the larger Battle of Leyte Gulf, the biggest naval battle in history,
which ultimately crippled the Japanese fleet for good. Their fight on October 24th blunted the Japanese aerial assault, helping to secure the beachheads on Leyte and cementing Allied control of the Pacific. It was a day when 2 men, in 2 machines, held the line against 60. Their discipline, skill, and unwavering courage turned the tide in their small patch of sky, contributing to a victory that would echo through history. If the courage of Commander David McCampbell and Ensign Roy Rushing in that moment above Leyte Gulf, facing down 60 enemy aircraft and rewriting the record books, moved you as much as it moved history, then please like this video to show your support. If you haven't already, take a moment now to subscribe for more deeply researched stories of World War II's most remarkable missions and the men who flew them. And in the comments below, tell us which historic aerial battle or astonishing act of courage you'd like us to bring to life next.